Dave Ramsey has helped over 10 million people get out of debt. His 7 baby steps are basically the Bible of personal finance. So I thought, what if I actually followed them? Every single step. For 1 full year. Some steps changed my life. One step almost cost me thousands of dollars. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what happened. If you don't know Dave Ramsey, he's basically the most famous money guy on the planet. He went broke in his 20s, rebuilt everything, and created a system called the 7 baby steps. Millions of people swear by it. But here's something almost nobody talks about. This system was designed decades ago, and a lot has changed since then. The average American now has over $6,300 in credit card debt. Student loans are at record highs, and inflation has made $1,000 feel like pocket change. So the real question is, do these steps still work in 2026? I tested them, and what I found honestly surprised me. Let's walk through every step, what worked, what didn't, and what I'd change if I could start over. Baby Step 1. Save $1,000 starter emergency fund. This is where everyone begins, before investing, before paying extra on debt. You save $1,000 in cash. Now, I'll be honest, this step is simple in theory, but when you're living paycheck to paycheck, it's not that easy. To hit that $1,000 mark, I stopped eating out, canceled 2 subscriptions I forgot I even had, and sold a few things I wasn't using. It took me about 6 weeks, but the moment I saw $1,000 in savings, something changed. For the first time, I felt like I had a tiny safety net, like I could finally breathe. But here's my first criticism. In 2026, $1,000 just isn't enough. The average car repair can cost $500 to $600. One emergency room visit can heat $1,300 before insurance. One unexpected problem, and that entire emergency fund is gone. Personally, I think a better number today is closer to $2,500. That amount actually gives you breathing room. Baby Step 2. Pay off all debt using something called the debt snowball. This is Dave Ramsey's most famous strategy. You list your debts from smallest to largest, ignore the interest rates, and attack the smallest balance first. When that debt disappears, you roll that payment into the next one. Just like a snowball rolling downhill, it keeps getting bigger. When I started this step, I had about $4,200 in credit card debt and a $300 medical bill. So I attacked the medical bill first. Gone in 1 month. Then I went all in on the credit card. That took about 7 months. And I'll be honest, this step felt incredible. Every time a debt disappeared, my motivation exploded. Dave Ramsey is absolutely right about one thing. Small wins keep you going. But there is one issue. The debt snowball is not always the best mathematical strategy. For example, if you have a credit card charging 24% interest and a student loan charging 5%, the smartest math says you should attack the high-interest debt first. That method is called the debt avalanche, and it can save you more money over time. So here's my conclusion. The snowball works psychologically, but the avalanche wins mathematically. The best strategy might actually be a combination of both. Baby Step 3. Build a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. After paying off my debt, I calculated my essential monthly expenses: rent, food, insurance, transportation, everything I absolutely needed. For me, that number was about $2,100 per month. So my emergency fund goal was between $6,300 and $12,600. After 4 months of aggressive saving, I built it to about $9,000. And this step completely changed how I felt about money. Suddenly, losing a job wouldn't destroy me. A car breakdown wouldn't be a financial disaster. This is what real financial security feels like. But here's a shocking statistic. According to Bankrate, about 59% of Americans cannot cover a $1,000 emergency. Think about that. If you've completed the first 3 baby steps, you are already ahead of more than half the country. That's not motivational talk, that's real data. Now, this is where Dave Ramsey's plan becomes a little controversial. Baby Step 4. Invest 15% of your income for retirement. This is where I started to push back a little. Dave recommends investing that 15% into 4 types of mutual funds: growth, growth in income, aggressive growth, and international funds. But here's what I actually did. I opened a Roth IRA, and instead of expensive mutual funds, I invested in low-cost index funds and ETFs. Why? Because of fees. Many actively managed mutual funds charge around 1% per year. An index fund tracking the S&P 500 might charge 0.03%. That difference sounds tiny, but over decades, it becomes enormous. I ran the numbers. If you invest $500 a month for 30 years at a 10% average return, a 1% fee could cost you around $170,000. That's the price of a house. Gone, just in fees. So, my conclusion on baby step 4 is simple. Investing 15% is excellent advice, but use low-cost index funds or ETFs instead. Baby step 5. Save for your children's college fund. Now, I don't have kids yet, so technically I skipped this one. But Dave recommends using a 529 plan. And honestly, I agree with that advice. A 529 allows your money to grow tax-free for education. And thanks to compound interest, even $50 a month from birth can grow to more than $20,000 by the time a child turns 18. But if you're thinking, I can barely save $50 right now, I understand. I was there too. The most important thing I learned this year is simple. You don't need to start big, you just need to start. Even $25 a month is infinitely better than zero, because compound interest only needs time. Now we reach the step where Dave Ramsey truly lost me. Baby step 6. Pay off your home early. Dave recommends paying off your mortgage before investing more than 15%. On the surface, that sounds amazing. Owning your home outright feels incredible, but here's the math nobody talks about. Let's say your mortgage rate is 6%. If you pay off your mortgage faster, you are effectively earning 6%. But if you invested that same money in the stock market, historically averaging around 10%, you would earn significantly more. That's a 4% difference every year. Over 20 years, that difference can easily reach hundreds of thousands of dollars. In some cases, it could mean having $400,000 instead of $650,000. That's $250,000 lost opportunity. Now, to be fair, Dave Ramsey's philosophy isn't about pure math. It's about peace of mind. Owning your home outright gives people emotional freedom, and that matters. But strictly from a numbers perspective, investing the difference usually wins. Baby step 7. Build wealth and give. This is the final stage. Once everything else is complete, you invest aggressively, grow your wealth, and give generously. And honestly, I love this step, because the goal of money shouldn't just be getting rich. It should be creating freedom and impact. So, after one full year testing Dave Ramsey's baby steps, here is exactly the system I would recommend. First, build a $2,500 emergency fund. Second, use the debt snowball to eliminate debt, but attack extremely high-interest debt first. Third, build a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. Fourth, invest 15% of your income into low-cost index funds. Fifth, if your mortgage rate is low, consider investing extra money instead of paying it off early. And finally, once your foundation is solid, focus on building wealth and helping others. I want to be honest with you. When I started this experiment, I was extremely skeptical. I thought Dave Ramsey's advice was outdated. But after 12 months, my credit card debt is gone. I have $9,000 in savings, and I'm investing 15% of my income for retirement. For the first time in my life, I actually feel in control of my money. Before this plan, I had $4,200 in debt, only $200 in savings, and constant financial stress. 1 year later, zero debt, $9,000 saved, and a clear financial system. Dave Ramsey's plan isn't perfect. The $1,000 emergency fund is too small. Some of his investment advice is outdated, and paying off your mortgage early isn't always the best financial move. But the framework works. The psychology works. The discipline works. Dave Ramsey didn't make me rich, but he gave me a system that helped me stop feeling broke. And sometimes, that's the most important first step. If this video helped you understand Dave Ramsey's plan, make sure you subscribe. I break down money and investing concepts every week. And if you want to see how compound interest can turn $10,000 into hundreds of thousands of dollars, check out the video on your screen right now. I'm Alex, this is Alex Invests, and I'll see you in the next video.